Picture a highly automated assembly line running at full capacity when suddenly the entire system grinds to a halt and goes dark. This graphic shows a harsh reality for enterprise tech. Gartner predicts that by 2026, organizations will abandon 60% of their AI projects. Those systems aren't shutting down because the algorithms are flawed or the code is buggy. They are failing because they lack the foundational, AI-ready data needed to keep them running. Look at this decision tree making an executive's nightmare. A regulator asks, "Why did your AI flag that customer?" You easily show the output, but if you cannot explain the logic or trace the exact data, the system fails compliance entirely. If you fail either the data trace or the logic explanation, you have to pull the plug on the project. It is a dual failure trap that you have to proactively engineer your way out of. Many companies walk right into this trap. They assume that because they have strict privacy rules and tight access controls, their systems are cleared to launch AI. Traditional data governance does a very specific job. It manages your raw materials. It ensures data quality, restricts who can see what, and tracks where files came from. But autonomous AI creates system-level risks. A perfectly secure database won't stop an AI from hallucinating a false fact or generating a highly biased decision based on historical patterns. Standard data controls cannot catch those behaviors. We need to map the exact boundary between where your data governance ends and your AI governance begins. Understanding this line is how you eliminate the friction currently paralyzing so many tech teams. Treating a dynamic AI model as if it were just another static database is dangerous. It leaves the business carrying a massive amount of hidden organizational liability. Looking closely at this comparison chart, the primary divide sits right at the top. Data governance manages your raw inputs, while AI governance manages the dynamic, operational system. Strict data governance provides an excellent baseline, guaranteeing your AI model is fed with clean, traceable information. But the chart shows they answer to different risks. A model trained on perfect data can still independently drift, hallucinate, or lock on to a flawed pattern. You need a dedicated AI governance framework to catch opacity, prevent intentional misuse, and guarantee human oversight for automated decisions. Without that oversight layer, perfect data only guarantees that you are feeding a highly efficient yet completely unpredictable black box. The infographic points out another critical friction point. These disciplines operate on very different clocks. Data governance runs on a traditional, periodic schedule. This means relying on annual audits, quarterly database reviews, and distinct policy update cycles. This periodic approach works. It is cost-effective and perfectly sufficient for standard compliance on static databases. AI models, however, experience severe model drift. Because they interact with real-world conditions that are constantly shifting, the models mathematically degrade and change their behavior dynamically over time. Because of drift, AI governance demands a continuous clock. You have to validate models in real time, retrain them continuously, and run live monitoring to catch degradation the exact moment it happens. The trade-off here is straightforward. Setting up this continuous requirement means budgeting for permanent, always-on monitoring infrastructure and the personnel to run it. If you try to apply a quarterly data audit schedule to an AI model that shifts daily, your system will operate blindly out of compliance for months at a time. These technical differences are now colliding with intense external pressure. Governments are drafting severe new regulatory frameworks, heavily driven by the European Union. Your traditional data teams are built specifically to handle privacy laws like GDPR and mitigate unauthorized data exposure. But AI governance has to answer to new, targeted legislation, like the EU AI Act. This requires navigating tiered penalties built to regulate high-risk systems. When a business treats these distinct regulatory burdens as a single discipline, they create a pointing fingers dilemma between departments. If an AI unfairly flags a customer, the data team blames the model's logic, while the AI team blames the training data. Overlapping regulatory pressure forces you to mandate joint ownership and integrated oversight. Without it, executives are left legally defenseless while their teams argue over who is at fault. Properly integrating these two governance models is unglamorous, and it is exceptionally capital-intensive. According to the research shown here, there is a substantial AI tax. Organizations that actually succeed with their AI initiatives invest up to 4 times more capital into their foundations than into the AI models themselves. That massive budget goes directly into unflashy but vital foundations: comprehensive data quality sweeps, strict change management protocols, and specialized oversight personnel. This 4x tax drastically increases the upfront cost of AI deployment. It's a difficult sell to budget committees looking for quick wins. But paying this foundational tax is the only proven method to take a risky, unpredictable AI experiment and turn it into a monitored, legally accountable business asset. Here is how you should map your specific path forward on this matrix. If you are a budget-conscious or early-stage team, pause your autonomous AI deployments and focus your capital solely on building foundational data governance first. This approach delays new AI capabilities, but prevents burning cash on abandoned models. If you're an enterprise in a high-risk sector, you must build parallel, heavily funded data and AI governance structures immediately. This drastically increases operational overhead and slows your time to market, but it is the absolute prerequisite to survive a regulatory audit. You do not have the luxury of choosing between AI governance and data governance. Your only choice is whether to pay the integration cost now or pay the catastrophic price of regulatory penalties later.